I went from sleeping 4 hours a day, working the 12 to 14 hour days and having no time for myself, making no progress in my business whatsoever, to being able to boost my sleep quality by 300%, which has not only allowed me to double my business in 30 days, but I did it without waking up at 4 AM, removing hobbies, or using weird sleep stimulants you can't even pronounce. And now I hate productivity videos more than you, and I'm tired of all the BS advice that doesn't even help you become more productive and it just wastes your time, which is exactly why I'm giving you everything I've used to fix my sleep in a few days, the protocols I've used, the systems I've used and given to 100 plus entrepreneurs, some making 5 or even 7 figures online. And so if you want to be able to have the energy to compress 12 hours of your usual work into 4 hours and finally scale your business faster with less work hours, let me show you everything. So first, let's talk about the importance of sleep, because sleep really does determine whether you make 5 or even 6 figures a month consistently online, or you barely leave the ground and end up making nothing online. See, most entrepreneurs, and including me, what I used to do is they don't see the importance of sleep. They kind of just brush it off and they try to get the bare minimum, thinking it's one of those things that doesn't help them scale, when that's completely wrong. You see, your poor sleep quality right now could be costing you thousands, because not only does your focus become non-existent, but your decision making becomes flawed. You start to make decisions inside your business, inside your day, that you'd usually call stupid, because your brain doesn't have the energy to actually make the right one. And obviously that's going to spiral into less opportunity to make money online, but it's also going to lead to extremely long work days where you compensate for that lack of focus with 14 hours of work, 16 hours of work, and it ends up being a spiral of just you losing sleep and having less focus. It's just like a domino effect. Imagine the first thing you do is you miss 1 hour of sleep. Well, what's going to happen the next day is you're going to feel very tired. You're going to lose focus a lot. That poor focus is going to mean you're going to have to clock out later in the day. You're going to clock out at 10 PM instead of 6 PM. This is going to cause you to miss out on sleep quality the next day, and that's obviously going to lead to you making less money as well. And I just want you to think about that for a second. That's 1 hour of sleep. Imagine if you miss 3-4 hours of sleep per night. When you think of sleep like this and you think of the first and second order consequences of poor sleep, that's when it becomes something you need to optimize if you actually want to scale to 5 or even 6 figures a month. And so now that you understand how poor sleep can not only have a terrible impact on your productivity, but also the amount of money you make online, let me share the entire protocol that's based on neuroscience that has allowed me to triple my sleep quality and double my business in 30 days. And I know that sounds really crazy. Like, how can sleeping more, doing nothing, make you more money? Well, it's very simple. And the first part of this protocol will make you laugh, but it's the most important thing in this entire list, and it's to have a cut-off time for your work. See, if you were to ask a 9-to-5 worker how good their sleep was, I guarantee it would always be better than entrepreneurs. And the reason for this is because in 9-to-5s and in school, you actually have a cut-off time for work. You have to stop work at a set amount of time. Maybe it's 5 PM, maybe it's 3 PM, right? But as an entrepreneur, you don't have a cut-off time. You can work until 10 PM, 2 o'clock in the morning, and no one would say anything bad about it. And now, why do we do this? Why do we put ourselves in this suffering, through this suffering? Well, it's because we always think that the more we work, the more results we get, right? I guarantee you think about this every single day. Like, if I just had 5 hours extra in a day, I'd be making an extra 50k per month, when really, you know, deep down that won't really matter. And this is why you see the most successful entrepreneurs online working on the most important tasks, maybe 4 or 5 hours in a day, and then just calling it a day. One, because they know high quality sleep leads to them working more efficiently and 2 times quicker. And second, they understand 80% of their tasks inside the day don't matter whatsoever. And so they can really only do 4 hours of high quality work per day. When you think of it like this, you naturally have more time to wind down and turn your brainwaves from beta, so very awake and just hyperactive, to alpha waves where you're super relaxed. And obviously that's going to lead to you getting to sleep quicker, wanting to go to sleep earlier, and heightening your sleep quality. Okay, so whether you want to or not, make sure you set a cutoff time for your work around 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed, and I guarantee the next day will be hyper productive. Now, the next part of this protocol is your sleep fundamentals. Now, I will say these do contribute to 80% of your sleep quality, so this is not something you want to skip over that you think you've already mastered, because clearly you haven't. But if you do implement these correctly, I guarantee that your next night's sleep tomorrow will be amazing. So the first fundamental you want to master is to not go on your phone 30 minutes to 1 hour before bed. Now, I know this is something you do every single night. You go on your phone, you watch YouTube, maybe you scroll reels, and you just can't stop yourself, right? It just becomes natural. And the reason why this is so devastating to your sleep is because we have this thing called a circadian rhythm. And basically how this circadian rhythm operates is it has a signal that's sent through the optic nerve inside the eye to detect whether whether it's day or night. And so if there's light coming through our eyes and it goes to this circadian rhythm, then we're obviously going to feel energized. But if it's night and it's dark, then we're going to feel sleepy because our circadian rhythm is trying to warn us to go to sleep. And so what you're doing when you go on your phone right before bed and it's just right in front of your face like this, is your circadian rhythm still thinks it's day, and so it doesn't start the sleep cycle, and so you don't go to sleep until 2 o'clock in the morning. But if you did something else like read a book or meditate, then you would naturally fall asleep a lot quicker. Now the next fundamental is to not eat food 2 to 3 hours before bed. And now this might seem a bit weird as well. I know this is a very weird list, but there's a reason why this works so well. Because the thing is, food is our natural energy source, right? The food gets broken down inside our body and we naturally feel energy from that. If we didn't have food, we would probably all be dead right now. And so what you're doing is when you eat food close to when you go to bed, especially carbs, is your body prioritizes digesting that food instead of starting the sleep cycle, and so you don't go to sleep until 2 o'clock in the morning because your body's trying to just digest this food as fast as possible, and that's obviously going to give you more energy as well. So just make sure you don't eat food 2 to 3 hours before bed. Now the final optimization you want to make is just basically just reduce the distractions you face when you're actually sleeping, and you can do this by going to bed deaf and blind. Now I don't mean like actual like make yourself blind or deaf. I simply mean wear a sleep mask or an eye mask or have blackout curtains so it just looks very dark inside the room. Nothing can disrupt you, because you'll notice when you sleep in light you wake up super groggy even if you have 8 hours of sleep. Now each of these fundamentals are actually based on neuroscience, and so these will work way better than any sleep hack, any weird productivity video or AI video you come across, and it's by far the first thing you need to master if you want to actually improve your sleep. Now the third part of this protocol is something most people don't actually go into, and you could follow the first few optimizations I've just been through, but if you don't master this, then you'll never actually improve your sleep. You'll stay consistent for a few days and then just go back to your old self. And that, my friend, is because they don't actually track anything. See, what doesn't get measured doesn't get improved, and if all you do is hope that when you go to bed you're going to get 7 or 8 hours of sleep, then obviously your sleep is going to be very inconsistent and you're not going to be able to wake up feeling energized. You need to make sure you have a reliable system that allows you to go to sleep at the same time every single day. And now, Harry, how do I actually track my sleep? I don't want to spend the next hour looking at a Google Sheet, figuring out how to use it, watching tutorials and how to actually build a sleep tracker. Now what I've done for you, because I'm the best productivity YouTuber out there, is I've actually left a sleep tracker below in the description that you can find and just use, and it will basically track your sleep automatically. So if you get 7 or 8 hours of sleep, then the mark is green. If it's less or more, then it'll probably mark it as orange or red, and you can see a graph at the end of the month to see how well you did and what optimizations you need to make. Okay, so check that out below. Now the final optimization you want to go through, and is probably the most important one, is your chronotype. Finding our chronotype allows us to find our specific sleep routine that we can use to actually get the most energy and know when we're going to be the most focused in the day. And so you have 4 main chronotypes according to neuroscience. You have the bear, the dolphin, the wolf and the lion. Now I'm not going to walk you through every single one here, but what I will do is leave a link to a sleep quiz where you can actually find your chronotype, and once you find it, it will basically tell you your best sleep times, your best wake up times, and you can kind of structure your routine, your work around that, just so you maximize your energy inside the day. This is a very simple thing you can do and just change right away. Now I'm not joking you, when I actually implemented this for my client and we found his chronotype, we changed his sleep time, we just changed it a tiny bit. He started waking up and going to sleep at the same time every single day. He optimized his energy to the point where he finished his workday by 2 p.m. What used to take him 10 hours or 12 hours to do, he could now get done in 6 hours. And the funny thing is, he actually started to make more money online because of it. And so finally, if you do want to get results just like the people you're seeing on screen right now, and be able to double your business in 90 days by accessing consistent flow states where you're proven to be 500% more productive, and be able to half your work hours, go and book a free consultation call in the first link in the description. And do not worry, this is not going to be some weird sales call. This is generally going to be me just helping you implement everything from this video, the sleep protocol and anything else you need help on, and giving the same systems I've given to these entrepreneurs. Okay, so see you soon, and access all the other resources inside the description, and have an amazing rest of your day. Peace.